The Souza Project by the Physics Fighters. The crime scene. Souza the loser was texting and driving his car one day and was approaching a hairpin turn. Unfortunately, our valiant leader Super Truck was parked on the hairpin turn on the lookout for crime. When Souza the loser realized he was in trouble, he slammed on his brakes, but it was too late. His car skidded on the wet road into the truckmobile, and both cars fell off the cliff into a large pool of Dago Turkey Farm turkey poop. Fortunately, the manure cushioned the fall, and no one was hurt. Supertruck was infuriated by Souza's terrible act of injustice and wanted to sue him. To get the facts of the crime scene, he was called in his trusty sidekicks, the Physics Fighters. The Physics Fighters knew what they needed to do. They needed to find if Souza the loser was driving over the speed limit, which is 20 miles per hour, when he collided with the truckmobile. The facts. First, we took some measurements of the crime scene. Using our superhero abilities, we determined that the cliff height was 38.23 meters, the skid mark length was 11.22 meters, the range was 26.24 meters, the coefficient of friction on a wet road is 0.1. Next, we looked at the vehicles. The truckmobile is a 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee with a curb weight of 1,811.194 kilograms. Souza the loser car is a 2011 Toyota Prius with a curb weight of 1,379.828 kilograms. We determined that we needed to work backwards to find Souza's initial velocity. To do this, we studied the projectile motion of the cars by splitting it into vertical and horizontal motion. For vertical motion, we used kinematic equations to determine that the time it took the cars to fall was 2.79 seconds. For horizontal motion, we solved for Vs and found that the velocity that the cars fell off the cliff was 9.394 meters per second. Then we looked at the elastic collision of Souza the loser's car and the truckmobile. We used the conservation of momentum equation and solved it for the velocity of Souza the loser's car, which was 21.72 meters per second. To find the velocity of Souza the loser's car before it started to skid, we used the equation for conservation of energy. We solved Vs and determined that Souza was driving 22.22 meters per second. We converted this to miles per hour and got 49.72. Since the speed limit was 20 miles per hour, we proved that Souza the loser was speeding, he was thrown into Arkham City Asylum. No one was hurt in the collision, but Souza went to jail covered in
Covered it with what?
Covered it with cat treats.
Yeah.